Hi guys, my name's Mick from Omelette Helping Hands and I'm going to do a video for the Leeds Listening Room project. Today I'm going to make an omelette. Now everything here has been sanitised and cleaned down. Because I'm making this for someone else, I'm doubly sure I'm just going to put these gloves on. Like I said, it's just me, I'm not bothered, but one of my colleagues does dare to take her life in her own hands and says she'll taste my cooking. So, just going to make sure. So the first thing to do then, let's prep the ingredients. So this omelette is going to have mushrooms, bacon and a load of cheese because we all like cheese. So your mushrooms first, what you do, get your stalks and just peel them like that. And all we're doing is taking the skin off. Bit of a faffy job. Put it on there. So you're going all the way around your mushroom and you're taking the skin off. So once we've got the skin, we then need to chop the mushrooms, which we'll do in a second. So it's quite easy to get the skin off really, it's just a bit faffy. But once you get the hang of it, it's alright. Now I've already asked my colleague and she's like me, she likes mushrooms, so I'm going to do 4 mushrooms, quite large ones as you can see. Get all the skin off. This is the most faffiest part, to be honest guys, but I've got plenty of time. The thing about cooking is, don't rush. You're not working in a restaurant where you need to be out on a set time, so don't try and rush it. Okay, 4 mushrooms. Sharp knife and cut them. And we don't want them too thick. And just put them in the bowl. Same again. Careful as you're cutting, it's a sharp knife you've got there, lads, I hope. So this video is going to be in 2 parts. I'm going to show you the prep first, which I'm doing now, and then I'm going to move to the kitchen area and show you how we cook it. Get some mushrooms. And now, need some bacon. Instead of putting whole rashers in, what we do is get your bacon. Again, these have been sanitised already, these scissors, and just cut bits off. See, nice big chunks of bacon here. You want to taste it? Just put them straight in with mushrooms like that. Put a few 4 rashers in. Again, we want to make it a tastiest bacon, don't we? So I'm going to put 4 rashers in, make sure. Now you can use smoked or unsmoked, it's entirely up to you. The good thing about an omelette is you can put whatever you want in there. There's no hard and fast rules. So just be careful as you're cutting. See, you've got big chunks of bacon there. We're not after tiny bits, we want a bit of taste, some texture in. Yep, you know something? I'm going to go mad. I'm going to put another piece in. Okay, cover them up. I'm going to put them back in the fridge in a second. I don't want them leaving out. So all I've got in there so far is bacon and some mushroom, and just going to mix them together. What it does, it just separates the bacon up a bit. Gives a nice even mix when we get to pour it all in. Right, so before we go any further, I'm going to clean this mess up, put these in the fridge, keep them out of the way. So back in a second, guys. So when I put them back in the fridge, I've got another bowl out. There's not exactly a mixing bowl, but it'll do. So you make do what you've got, guys. So to make the omelette bit, move these out of the way for now. Mixing bowl. I want 4 eggs. Now make sure your eggs are free range. There's nothing worse than thinking of these poor hens with battery hens. Or not kept outside. They may cost a little bit more, but believe me now, it's well worth it. There. 2, 3, 4. There's 4 eggs in there now. There's no shell in there, so if there were, I'd have to get it out, but there isn't, so it's okay. Now you notice, guys, I didn't do the one-handed egg break because I can never do that. Like I said, I am not a trained chef. I'm just someone who's given it a go to make. So in here I've got 100 millilitres of milk. I'm going to put that in there. This is skim milk. That's all we need. Bit of a whisk. Got a lovely yellow colour. There's egg mixed in with the milk. Okay, to that I've got some salt. A little bit of salt, just for flavour. And then the cheese. Now this is cheese I've already grated up. It's 100 grams of mature cheddar cheese. Put some in there. Now, me and my colleague like our cheese, so there's going to be a lot of cheese used. And again, just brings that bit more flavour. Okay, that's all prepared. That's how simple it is, guys. So you chopped your mushroom up with your bacon. In here you've got 100 millilitres of skimmed milk. You've also got 4 eggs, bit of salt and quite a lot of cheese because we like cheese. So now that's the preparation stage done. Yeah. So now I'm going to put it together and cook it, and hopefully my colleague will enjoy it. Right, guys. So I've got the bacon and mushrooms here. I'm just going to fry them off a little bit first. Just turn the ring on. Tiny bit of vegetable oil, not a lot. Again, we don't want it too oily. Just give a stir. The reason why we're keeping it stirring this is because the cheese, because it's heavier, just sort of the bottom. So this way, what we're doing, we're just keeping it all mixed in. And with this, we're just tipping that in. Get to my gloves off now because I'm not touching any of the produce, so it doesn't matter about me having gloves on anymore. Put that there to washed up, and then just spread this out a bit. Just move it around, make sure all a bit of oil all over the pan. Like that. Now, because I'm not used to cooking on electric, let's make sure, yep, it's starting to warm nicely. So leave it for a few seconds then to warm up. In with that, we're going to put a tiny bit of butter. So with that, we're going to put this tiny bit of butter over here. This just adds a bit more flavour. Not putting a lot in, that's enough there. Okay, we washed. When you've used out, put it back in the fridge, keep it fresh. And this is just starting to get to temperature now, which is good. The reason why we're using the wooden spatula is because wood won't scratch the surface of this non-stick pan. So if you've got one, guys, use a wooden spatula. If not, use a wooden spoon, it's just as good. Now this environment is a working environment, so this is a canteen area. So if we get any disturbances, you'll know why. Keep it moving around. Just hear it start to sizzle, only just starting. It's because it's electric and it does take a bit of time to get to temperature. Now with this, I'm also going to put the grill on. And the reason for that will become clear in a minute or two. Separate the bacon now. And as the bacon starts to warm up, it separates itself. So if it was in a lump, don't bother so much, it will separate. reason we're cooking this, because if we didn't and we just put it straight in the omelette, then what we'd get is raw bacon and the raw mushroom. Okay, it's starting to cook nicely. Stirring it around, make sure it all gets some even heat distribution for all cooks. Cooking nice now. You can hear it sizzling, it's come to temperature, and that is exactly what we're after. See how this grill is doing. Okay, I want to take these out, don't need them in. Grill pans, until they're not warm yet. So, close it up, make sure it keeps some heat in there. My boss just came out of office and gave me the funniest look, I don't know why. She should be used to me talking to myself. It's the only way that I get a decent conversation. So what we're going to do now, just keep on cooking to get all the moisture out of the mushrooms. Just cook some of this juice off on the bacon. The reason why I kept mushrooms quite large as we're cutting them is as they cook, they do shrink as they lose the moisture. Exactly what we've done here, but it's still good. Still quite chunky, so that will add a bit extra texture in to the omelette as we're doing it. Keep on moving it around. And again, what we're trying to do is make sure that all cooked quite evenly, so there's good distribution there of heat. Cook for a few more minutes and then we'll add the egg and the cheese. There, give it another whisk because by now, yep, the cheese has settled against the bottom. Whisk it round, make it all mixed in nice and properly. God, I love the smell of bacon. Must be one of the best smells in the world in the morning. Someone cooking the bacon sandwich. Okay, so that's cooked enough now. The bacon's cooked through and the mushrooms have cooked down nice and well. They've just started to go brown on the edges, which we're looking for. So just brown your mushrooms off like these have done. Okay, let's take forward the next bit then. Make sure it's all mixed in and then just pour it in. Pour it into your pan like that. all of it out the bowl. To wash. Let's wait for this to cook now. So already it's starting to cook around the edges, which is good. What we're going to do is make sure it's all cooked all the way through. So I'm not going to touch it all just yet, because I don't want to start messing around with it, because we don't want scrambled eggs. We're trying to find an omelette. Keep on moving around here and make sure it's cooked all the way through, because one side here seems to heat better than the other, so let's make sure that it's all cooked. And you'll see it's going white around the edges of the omelette. Like I said, don't touch it at this stage, lads, just let it cook. Yeah? What you don't want to do is start getting your spatula and start doing this, just leave it alone now. And cook away for about 5 minutes is what we're looking for. So we know that all the bottom then is cooked nice and on all the way through. Yeah? Oh, you can smell that cheese now that's cooking. So just keep moving the pan around, that's all I've got to do, that's my bit. Because like I said, this seems to get hotter in one area for some strange reason. That smells beautiful. Wish we had smell-o-vision. So it's all going white now, which is what I'm looking for, which means the egg is starting to cook at the bottom. Still not ready yet though, still quite a way to go. But now, this cheese we kept behind, let's put it on. To make sure it's covered all the omelette, like that. That to wash. So now we should have that now. Your spatula, because everything else you should have put to wash. Remember, you're doing this as you go along, it doesn't seem such an arduous task as you're doing it then. And again, we're not even touching that yet. But it smells beautiful. Okay, just moving the pan around like I said, just to ensure that it gets a good heat distribution and it's all cooked. Let's just have a quick, just get in there. One way of telling it's all cooked is when the cheese that you put on is all melted. That's usually a good indication. And it's got a little bit of way to go yet, in a couple of minutes perhaps. Let's just check this grill that we put on. The grill's nice and hot. Which is what I'm looking for. My tea towel, wait a minute. So, the tea towel. Left the baking tray in there. Let's just let it cool down. It's fine. No big issue. Let's have a look at this now. Should more or less. Okay, so that's now cooked more or less at the bottom as we need it. So this is the reason why I put the grill on. Just put it under the grill. And that is then going to cook the rest of the egg all the way through. The omelette is going to cook the top of it, make that cheese go lovely golden brown. Turn off the rink, we don't need that rink anymore. Now when that omelette's doing under the grill, good thing to do is I'm going to put some toast on now, just to go with the omelette, just had a bit of crunch, a bit of texture. Okay, because I can look under the grill and so look at this. The cheese is melted beautifully now. And it's really starting to bubble, which is what we're looking for. Get some plates. Yeah. That's the boss, try getting on the act.
I need feeding.
Nearly ready, guys. As my colleague will be quite happy to know. Let's keep an eye on toast. And again, there's way of doing the toast. This omelette is quite big, so enough for 2 people easily. The toaster there just a bit of texture to the omelette when we serve up. Cooking really nicely, a few more minutes. My colleague is now beginning to eat her own fingers. She must be quite hungry. Another minute and that'll be ready.
Oh, that was fish shop.
No.
Get some marge out of the fridge.
That's all I could do.
Get the toast. The toaster takes a while to do. And that is perfect. A beautiful omelette. That's all there is to it. That's how easy it is. Turn everything off. Using your wooden spatula. Just cut it. See that? Not runny, it's not gooey. It's exactly as an omelette should be. And now I'm just going to serve up. Okay, and that's that done, guys. Gonna enjoy this, I hope. She'll never forget it. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that video. We're making more as we go on, so keep on watching us and catch you later. Goodbye.